Guys, have you seen UPSC GS3 paper today? Look at what they are asking. Digital rupee, agentic AI, fast breeder reactor, mission drishti, etc. So what we'll do is let's quickly decode these questions. Let's start with agriculture. Agriculture have a huge footprint. Look at those questions, technology mission and Indian agriculture. And then all these questions, if you look at it, it's around 65 marks directly around agriculture and allied themes. And notice the nature of those questions also. UPSC is not simply asking what are the problems of Indian agriculture. It is actually connecting agriculture with technology, connecting it with markets, and then food security, biotechnology, the government policies, and the international trade. So agriculture cannot be prepared as an isolated chapter anymore. You will have to connect it with all of these. And then next area is the science and technology. It's extremely contemporary. If you look at those questions, fast breeder reactor at Kalpakam, and then mission drishti, and then agentic AI. In fact, probably one of the most interesting question in the entire paper is what is agentic artificial intelligence, and not simply artificial intelligence. What is agentic AI? So UPSC is asking its working, its application, its advantages, its risk and challenges. As a student, it is very difficult to answer. As an entrepreneur, it is very easy for me, but it is very difficult. But still, you might have prepared that, right? So UPSC is actually reducing the time gap between emerging technology and the mains question paper. So technology preparation again cannot be dependent, you cannot depend only on the conventional textbooks. It largely current based, it's mostly contemporary based. And economic questions, if you look at it, digital rupee and India's CBDC, and then financial inclusion and RBI's financial inclusion index, and then this energy security, startups, entrepreneurship, innovation, employment, challenges and solution. And again, if you see, these are not questions requiring you to reproduce the definition. UPSC is expecting you to understand how does it work and what has India done and what are the challenges and what should be done next. So this is not simply economics, it's actually applied economics. And again, environment, disaster management are again integrated with governance. If you look at it, look at those questions: rapid infrastructure development versus disaster risk reduction in ecologically sensitive areas, right? Solid waste management. But UPSC is specifically asking you to compare the experience of Delhi and Indore and community participation in disaster management. Notice what UPSC is doing here. It doesn't want write 10 points on solid waste management. It basically wants you to know actual Indian examples and the implementation outcomes, and that's where the value addition become extremely important. Again, if you look at internal security, that's also current plus statics combination. Fake news and disinformation, and connected with internal security, public order, and the IT rules 2021. Right, Ladakh, that connected with border development, and then army civic action and the demand for the 6th schedule, and Jammu Kashmir connected with separatism and the pre and post abrogation situation of Article 370 and 335A, and the terror funding that's connected with counterfeit currency and money laundering and FATF. Again, it's definitely static syllabus, but contemporary development plus the institutional knowledge is also required. So what is the biggest lesson from this chapter? If you look carefully, UPSC repeatedly asks candidate to do multiple tasks within a single question. Take the agentic AI question. You will have to define it, you will have to explain its working, give application, discuss its benefits, discuss the risk, discuss the challenges, and you have only 250 words, and within the time span you have to do it. The FBR question similarly require, the difference between reactors and the criticality you have to do, and implications for India's clean energy future. That again in 150 words. That means the challenge is not merely knowing the answer. The challenge is content prioritization. What do I write? What do I leave out? So how do I satisfy every demand within the word limit, within the time limit? That is the main skill, what I mean by, right? So now what we need to do for 2027? Just don't prepare economy separately, agriculture separately, environment separately, science and tech separately, current affairs separately. That is not going to work out. You need a preparation, or I would say preparation like interconnections. Agriculture plus technology, agriculture plus WTO, right? Energy plus economy plus environment, or technology plus security, infrastructure plus ecology plus disaster management, digital technology, right? And economy, all these combination. So let me tell you, if GS1 told you that strengthen your static foundation. Now GS3 is telling you learn to apply the foundation to what is happening today, the contemporary reality. And today's paper basically confirms something else. You cannot start mains preparation after prelims and expect current affairs, compilations is going to rescue you. You need syllabus, definitely. You need previous year question knowledge. It is repeating. Static concepts understanding, current affair and interlinkage, examples, case studies, and most importantly, answer writing practice, how to prioritize content, what to leave, what to write, in what time limit. Because GS3 in 2026 was not simply a test of what you know. It was a test of whether you can take what you know, connect it, apply it, and compress it into that 150 words or 250 words. That's the real message from today's GS3.